We'll take questions for Kevin. Any questions?
I'm going to let you know nothing's changed from 12 hours ago. So if there's no questions, fine by me.
Okay, Jeff, here in the front on 1 or 2.
Jeff Shadell, News Herald. Kevin, your numbers in that first half were really good, rebounding. Did Golden State do something to make it more difficult in that second half?
No, I think more than anything, just I was spacing. I find myself floating a little bit sometimes, and that's just due to most of the time in the third quarter, or a lot of the times we find ourselves a little stagnant. Ball watching or just not moving the ball from side to side. I think that's been one of the things for us throughout this season and seasons past, where we come out in the third quarter and that tends to happen. So I think more than anything, it's, at least for me, what I can do is just keep in the same mindset, continue to be aggressive.
So then how, since you know that, I mean, how, is it more difficult to do than to say coming up here for Game 4?
Yeah, I mean, this is a team the Warriors, you really have to continue to put your foot on the gas. You can't let up. So, I think it was not just myself, but everybody. I think it's a mentality. Just continue to stay aggressive, get that ball from side to side, and we've always been better when we've played with pace. And I think that allows Bron to do what he does best, and that's get downhill and attack, and play in the open court and transition.
Over here on the right.
Kevin, Reed Forgrave with CBSSports.com. Obviously, you come out in Game 4 and you're going to dry your guys' arms. But is there any sense of resignation where it's like 2 out of 3 of these games you guys could have won, and you did everything you could in those games, and yet the Warriors just find a way?
Right. Well, I think that's why they're such a great team. But we've given ourselves a chance. I know that we'll come out in Game 4 and really compete. We're not going to give in. And as you mentioned, I mentioned last night too. Just the margin for error is very slim against the Warriors. I mean, you almost I mentioned last night, you almost have to be perfect. There was a lot of things last night that we did well, but there are a couple of blown coverages, a couple of missed shots that and timely shots that didn't go our way that led to them winning the game. So yeah, there's been Game 1, Game 3. I know that Game 2 got away from us a little bit, but those are games that we were right there.
Standing on the left.
Kevin, John Gonzalez from The Ringer. It's obviously been a different sort of season for you guys. Ty was talking about that a little bit, about the difference between coaching guys he's been around for a while and then incorporating some new guys. So I was just wondering, in your experience, what it's like to play for Ty, and then what you saw from him when you were trying to phase in those new pieces.
Yeah, I think just at least for me, there's been a big comfort level with Ty. I've always had a trust with him as well, personally, and then just he's had to deal with a lot. I mean, incorporating a bunch of new players, roster overhaul, and being the head coach of the Cavaliers. I've always said we thrive under chaos, so we have some sort of sense of that. But he's taken everything in stride. I know he had a little bit of his health issues this year, but he's faced that head on and has been able to overcome all those.
Did you talk to him about the health issues while he was going through it, and what was that? Can you tell us anything about those conversations? Well,
I was pretty happy and not only empathetic, but was able to talk with him about some of the things that he's gone through off the court. So, and being able to admit that he's been facing some anxiety, I think, and everything that's come out about, at least with DeMar and guys like Kelly Oubre and myself that deal with that sort of thing off the court. I'm extremely happy that he was able to face that and admit that, and it's one of those things where I know that his health, he went through some stuff this year, but I would have never known he was dealing with anxiety like that. So he's taken everything in stride. He's grown a lot, I think, since he's been here. And it's not just players that are able to grow and get through certain things and tough parts of their life, but coaches too. I think it's pretty cool.
On your left, Dave.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. Kevin, this season's not over. It could go 4 more games, but if you were going to look back at what you guys have done this year, what makes you feel good about 2017, 2018 for the Cavs?
I think we were able to persevere. I know it seems like every time I get up here or talk to you, or Joe or Jason, and we always talk about how many seasons it feels like it's been this year. But just I think the perseverance, just being able to get through whatever's been thrown at us, and I know that could be said for every single year, but I think this year was definitely the most trying for a number of those reasons that you guys saw throughout.
Mark in the middle.
Kevin, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. LeBron has been through it all in 15 years, and I know he always tells you guys, follow my lead. What has he shared about this type of situation, either right now or last year when you were in the same predicament?
Oh, he just, I know I said earlier, he never takes his foot off the gas. He continues to be a leader. He continues to be LeBron. And, he just, a lot of times he is very vocal about it, and sometimes he just leads by example. But, he's the type of guy that he wakes up every day, punches the clock, puts in his time, and, we follow everything that he does. So, it's tough to be in this situation. It's not the situation we want to be in, but last year we came out and won Game 4 on our home floor, so we're hoping to do the same.
Over here on the right.
Kevin, Paul Antunes, ESPN Brazil. In 2016, you guys were down 3-1, won 3 straight games. Is there anything that you can draw from that experience that might help you have a little bit more confidence still in this series and try to do the supposedly impossible?
Yeah, I mean, it's you just got. I know it's cliche, but you got to take it one game at a time. I think that's what we did in that series. We were able to get Game 3. Obviously, lost Game 4 on our home floor, but we're able to win the next 3. But for us, that margin of error is is very small, and we know that if we keep our coverages tight. We foul when we're supposed to, or when we need to. We switch when we're supposed to. We don't let them slip to the rim, get those easy buckets that are deflating. And then on the offensive end, in the third quarter, we don't get stagnant and play a full 48 minutes of moving the ball and playing our game. We'll give ourselves a chance, and we feel like we can win.
Mr. Crick, USA Today. I just want to go back to mental health for a second. For you, what tactics do you use in times of adversity like this to quiet your mind so that maybe you don't slip into thinking too far into the future or thinking back into the past?
Yeah, I think as far as basketball goes, it's always been my safe place. Every time I've stepped up onto the floor, I've felt free, and it's kind of a way to get away from those stresses. It's away from the court where I feel like your mind can play tricks on you, and if you try to quiet your mind too much, it's like trying to fall asleep at night. You start thinking of the stupid things you've done the last 10 years of your life, and all sort of negative thoughts creep in. But just be around good people, positive energy, and a lot of people do different things to manage their stress and anxiety and depression. And I have my own coping mechanisms as well, but I think everybody's different.
Is meditation a part of that?
Meditation is huge. Yeah. I think it's my uncle had done TM now for 40 or 50 years, and that's something he's tried to get me into. But there's certain apps that you can use too, or listen to different white noises type of things. I know this is maybe boring for some of you guys, but I love this stuff. So it's something I really look to, and hopefully I can make an impact, especially this summer moving forward.